And, what do you want to see in that deal? Because earlier you said reportedly that...
Well, you start off with there will be no nuclear weapons. That's where it starts. And then on top of that, there's plenty of...
Red flag.
Thank you very much.
Anything about Israel?
Nora, what's your response to him not answering to, the soldiers that lost their lives?
I mean, are we really surprised at this point? I love Trump. I love you, President Trump. But you said no new war. So now I'm going to keep my foot on your neck for the next year until we bring our soldiers home, until we end what's going on. I'm sorry. I don't want my boys dying for a foreign war that has nothing to do with us. You don't care. And for everybody in the chat that says, well, I don't care, it's got nothing to do with me, it absolutely has something to do with you. If you have a child of age between the ages of 16 to 25, your child might be going to war. You better get them in college, because this is not ending anytime soon. First, we heard a week. I was okay with the week. Then we heard a month. Now we're hearing till fall. I'm sorry. I don't support this. I don't agree with this. Kamal, I specifically sent something to you earlier. I said, this is why you need to know about politics, because one of the first people that died was a Black American man. I guess we're going to play his clip later. And I don't support this. I don't care about any race of who's dying. But the fact of the matter is, everyone should be concerned. Everyone should care. President Trump, you said no new wars. You lied. I will keep talking about it every day until we bring and end this, until we come to a resolution. It's not getting any better. 2,500 Marines are on their way to go and get slaughtered. And so everyone needs to open their eyes and realize midterms is coming. I'm going to tell you, I'm not voting, because I refuse to give Democrats my vote, but I damn sure refuse to give Republicans my vote. You guys need to rein in President Trump, our foreign interests. And everyone is obsessed with Israel, but that goes for Russia, that goes to Qatar, that goes to China and Israel. If you're getting money from foreign lobby at this point, shame on you. Shame on you, because we are being played as the American people. Our money is funding a war that we don't need to be in. Our money is funding genocide of children. Our money is funding genocide of children at schools. We just bombed a school last week, and Obama did the same thing. Let me put that out there. I want y'all to know Obama did the same thing. I was shocked to learn that. We shouldn't be supporting this. We shouldn't be okay with this. So as long as I have breath in my body and a mic to use, I will be speaking out against this and saying we need to bring our troops back. We need to focus on American interests only and no new wars.
Okay, so you talked about the soldier, so I'll play what his parents had to say.
Family of Tyler Simmons, the loss is still almost impossible to comprehend. Simmons was a technical sergeant and boom operator with the 121st Air Refueling Wing at Rickenbacker Air National Guard Base. On Thursday, March 12th, Simmons was on board an air tanker that crashed in western Iraq while supporting Operation Epic Fury. All 6 crew members were killed. Officials with U.S. Central Command say the crash occurred in friendly airspace, and investigators confirm it was not due to hostile or friendly fire. But for the people who loved him most, like his mother Cheryl and grandmother Bernice, the focus is on Tyler's life and the moments they shared, even just one day before the tragedy.
He called me on Wednesday, and we were able to talk to him on Wednesday. I was over here, and we actually had beautiful conversation. I was like, well, Tyler, how are you? He said, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. But Mother knows he was having some challenges. You know, he told me they had been shot at, but he was okay. Tyler was just a fantastic, amazing man. He really, really was. He was a man who loved his job. He loved the people that he worked with. He loved his family. He just wanted to do amazing things because he's an amazing man.
They say Tyler's legacy is clear. A young man from Columbus who dreamed of serving his country, lifting others, and making an impact in the world. In just 28 years, his family says he did exactly that.
Reverend, pastors talk to parents at like the worst day of their lives when it comes to funerals, people losing their lives. What would you say to a parent that lost a son or a daughter in this war?
Well, we all our troops go into the military knowing there's great risk. It's hard to console any parent that in any situation like that, you would just try to give them a spiritual answer um, in the whole situation.
We didn't
But
need
I do want to say that to a lot of people who feel, you know, the approval ratings show that there's like 54% of people approve
to
of
be in this
Iran
war.
of the Iran
You
strike
know,
and is supported, and that's across Democrat and Republican. And there's like 90% of people in the MAGA movement. I don't like war. I don't agree with war. But I think the problem I have is with people acting like what the purpose behind why President Trump struck Iran is not a legit concern, because it's been a concern for not just him but President Obama, even when Hillary was running, she made a clear statement. Iran is one of the most prolific with nuclear weapons in the world. They are the number one terrorist organization, and they have been building nuclear weapons for a very long time. And yes, Trump did say no new wars, and I don't want no new wars. But Trump also has been saying for 40 years that he will not allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. And according to the talks, they were trying to negotiate for a very long time since they came into office that they need to stop their nuclear plan immediately. And they refused to do it. They actually said, we will not stop. And that's why this happened. So people who don't understand Islam, don't understand how dangerous these people are, um, they are dangerous. And if they ever get a nuclear weapon, they could cause World War III. So, I don't believe Trump. I'm never going to turn my back on the president, because I know that he has proven what he has said. It's been almost eight. This will be his fifth year in office, and in that time, he's never lied. He never, when it comes to wars, he's ended more wars than any president has than any president. Eight, I mean 7 or 8. Just this one, from Africa, wars in Africa to trying to get peace deals all over. But Trump is not an isolationist. He's not He's not a person that does not say we're never going to use our military. He says peace through strength. And I believe that I don't believe he's lied. I definitely do believe, and I've said before, this cannot go on. It cannot be something that is prolonged. It cannot be something that goes into 6 months and things like that, or it will be hard during the midterms. But right now, his approval rating on the war is actually not as bad as some people try to make it seem, about 54%. And its approval rating is still about 45%, which is about the same place that Bush and Obama was at this time in their presidency, a little higher. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna ever try to push war. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. But I'm also not like some people who are flipping out and like, it's not a top priority for me, to be honest. I mean, I care about it. I pray about it. But there are other reasons I voted for Donald Trump, and it's not about foreign policy. I voted for Donald Trump because I wanted secure borders. I voted for Donald Trump because I believe the Democrats are socialists. I believe they're communists, and I don't want those people running our country. So that's why I voted for Trump. I believe the Democratic Party is dangerous, and that's why I will continue to support the president, because he's the only. I believe he's standing between those people taking over and our country becoming what Venezuela is, or Cuba, or one of those places.
Okay, so a lot of people are saying this about Israel. A lot of people that supported Trump. This is what this influencer had to say, or this comedian.
About this before, but I do have a lot of uncomfort about America's relationship with Israel, the Israeli political leaders. That's what I mean. I believe that group it just feels like a satanic regime. It feels like they just want to cause pain. They just, these they don't even know where all the bodies from Gaza are, and they're already moved on to other places that they are attacking, and that America's associated now with their attacks. And I believe that will come here one day. I don't believe that that the Israeli leaders, that they have any intention to stop that. I don't see that they have any care for the American people.
Mia, what's your response to that?
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, we've heard many things about this conflict, this war. One person said it was an operation. One person said it was a conflict. The Secretary of Defense said it was a war. We've heard many reasons to potentially why we're there. I believe Marco Rubio told the truth when he said Israel was going to strike them and we had to go too. Like, we didn't have a choice. Like, they were going to use this opportunity to go. They had waited 47 years to do it. But like, what I find for me is like the craziest thing is like Obama had an agreement with Iran before 2018, and they were actually scaling back their nuclear program. They were letting inspectors in. They actually weren't working towards that 60 or more % uranium. And all of a sudden in 2018, Trump, during his first term, ripped that up and said, fuck you. And then that was the first antagonistic thing that they did. And then, you know, some years pass, and then here we are now. As I recall last year, we dropped bunker busters and we allegedly destroyed their nuclear capacity, and we did this and we did that, and it was all good. We don't have to worry about it. So how the hell in 6 months they somehow are back is crazy to me. So who lied? Who lied? Did they lie to us last year? Was the footage from CENTCOM a lie? Because you specifically got on your 10 tippy toes and told us last year that this was not a problem. So they can't be 2 weeks away from nuclear weapons since 1995, when we allegedly took care of this problem last year, right? And then to add insult to injury, we dropped those bombs. And then we had a ceasefire with them of sorts. We had a little agreement with them. And then a week later, Israel bombs them. And then Iran still didn't have the smoke for us. They still, returned a little bit of fire, told us they were going to do it hours ahead. We were able to not have any casualties at all whatsoever. And then we continued on. So, I mean, we have shown, I would say specifically, this administration has shown that they cannot be trusted. And then now here we are up shit's creek without a paddle, because now we're backed in a corner. We have a country that is a horseshoe-shaped mountainous range. We're not getting in there. We spent over 8 years supplying Iraq with men, with weapons, with arms, with everything they would need to try to get through the mountains into Iran. They did it 8 years, and they still didn't do it. There's a reason why the Iranians are in the position that they're in, right? Like, these people, there's a reason why nobody's been able to invade them. We're not going to either. We're going to end up having to use nuclear weapons in order to overtake these people. And that's the scariest thought. And I don't know if the government is prepared to do that at this point in time. It's crazy to think that so many people are supporting this. And I find the people, and I'm listening to the people in the chat and I'm reading it. And to answer to Kelly specifically, the reason that a lot of Black people don't care is they haven't gotten the call for their sons and daughters to go overseas. But Black people will start caring when their children have to go. I mean, I understand why Reverend Jordan Wells, he's not going to be called to go over there. He's too old. My son is not. Grace's daughter is not. 85 Slim, he has 2 sons and a daughter. They're not too old. I mean, it'll be us. It'll be our children. We'll have to sacrifice our children for Israel. And that's not fair to us. We didn't ask for this. I voted for him specifically because he said no new wars. And now he picks a war with arguably one of the most difficult people to overtake. And people don't quite understand Iran. They invented mathematics. They are the cradle of knowledge. These are Persians, okay? These people, Xerxes, If you know history, who do you think killed the 300? Xerxes, they were Persians, bro. Like, you're trying to go up against the OGs? And then to add interest, and then the craziest thing, we murder all of the people that we want to take the Ayatollah's spot. We wipe them all out. The Ayatollah didn't even want his son in power. Not only did we wipe out the old Ayatollah, we killed everybody else we wanted in that position. Trump said that in his position. So now we're stuck with the son. And like, let's all of the people we've murdered in this man's life. We killed his father, we killed his mother, we killed his kid, we killed his wife, we killed his sister. We murdered this man's He is arguably 1,000 times worse than his father, and now he's the new supreme leader. If that doesn't tell you we don't know what the fuck we're doing, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. And now we're backed in a corner. We bombed Karg Island for no apparent reason because these people aren't afraid of us. So now, what are we going to do? We have no point. We have no choice but to keep going. We can't surrender.
For sure, Mia. You're very passionate about it. This is what Trump had to say about the Strait of Hormuz. Can y'all really hear what he was saying?
Not really.
Not really, no, sorry.
This is what he said about NATO, Ukraine. Let me see if this one sounds better.
As an example, in many cases, they're NATO countries. We're always there for NATO. We're helping them with Ukraine. It's got an ocean in between us. Doesn't affect us, but we've helped them. It'd be interesting to see what country wouldn't help us with a very small endeavor, which is just keeping the strait open. That, by comparison, it's small because Iran has very little firepower left.
Skeptic, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
How do you feel about Trump saying that because we help NATO with Ukraine, they should have to help us with Iran?
See, I think in the socialism aspect of this comes into play. When you apply tariffs and when you use this like manipulation type of way to charge your allies to have them pay for things, it kind of makes them not want to help you whenever you need their help. So a lot of nations, we did isolate ourselves. We did so whenever he was having this trade war with people. A lot of them were our allies, like Canada, like Mexico. Not only that, but he was telling people, we're going to invade you. We're going to take you over. You're going to become part of the US. So a lot of nations are now looking at the US and thinking, hell no, we're not going to help you guys. If anything, I think I've heard rumors that some of our allies are actually with some of the people that are supporting Iraq. So I feel like we did a lot of this to ourselves. And when you have people that are not educated and that are not qualified to be in positions of power, this is what happens. You have idiots running the White House, and literally the nation is being negatively affected by it. Like, it was all cute and fun when everybody was like, oh, he's not a politician, he's not a career politician. Yeah, if you read through his peace through strength foreign policy when it comes to conflicts with foreign nations, which I did read on live one time, it made zero sense. It was not a policy. It was, I'm going to keep peace whenever I feel like it. Literally, it was him talking about all the things he had accomplished. So when you have an unqualified person in the position of president of the United States, stuff like this happens.
Can I say something real quick before we move on? So, little known fact, the insurance industry alone, when it comes to these oil tankers, right? So a lot of these oil tankers are spending about $250,000 a week in insurance. That has now quadrupled to $1 million per week that these oil tankers have to pay in insurance alone. You will see this in your food. You will see this in the fuel. You will see this in all of the household items that you need to buy. People don't quite understand that the amount of things that we use for petrol to create We are coming into spring season. What does spring need? Fertilizer. So you're going to see everything exponentially go up. Gas has gone up 30% in less than 10 days. That's crazy talk. And all of these oil tankers are sitting there paying $1 million a week per Lloyd's in London for insurance alone. And they are stagnant and not moving. We're all fucked. Even if we stop and we say we won, we took out these boats, we took out infrastructure, we took out this, the ripple has already become a wave. No matter what we do, by September, all of us will be paying at minimum 30 to 50% more for food and all of these items. I don't think people quite realize there are a small ripple effect overseas affects us largely here, but it also affects people in other countries. So it's not just us. So all of our allies, including all of Europe, they're going to be spending out the ass too. I mean, we have places like India they're going to be out of oil in 2 weeks, if not less than that. So like this impacts everybody who didn't ask for shit to be impacted. And like, I feel bad for them because they didn't ask for this. They just been bebopping and now here we are. We're all fucked.
Also, didn't he say he wants to go to Cuba next?
Right? Dude, that's so crazy to me. That is so crazy.
I will say, as somebody from Miami, Florida, I do believe that a lot of Cubans do want to be liberated more than Iran. I explain it to MAGA and all the Trump supporters that don't understand what's going on in the region like this. Majority of the country voted for Trump. That's like if somebody came in and said, we want to liberate the Democrats and the left from Trump. Majority of the country did vote for Trump. That's how I look at it in Iran. However, in Cuba, I do believe they want to be free. I'm just telling you from the things I've seen. I grew up in Miami. I grew up under the fear that they were under of Castro. I don't know about the current regime, but back when Castro was running, I believe they would have been okay with being free.
But I just think it's like the idea of like America first. But while we are sitting here watching everything rise in prices, we had already seen that things were getting more expensive. And like to turn and look at the man that told you we're going to put America first. We're going to bring down prices. We're not going to go into a war, an endless war. We're not going to get into these, into these conflicts. We're going to like simmer down to hear like the American people are looking at him like, what are we going to do? And for him to come out and be like, Cuba's next, like how you really like he's spitting in your face. I don't know. I'm just, it's like, okay.
I would have supported Cuba.
Hold on, no one gets Slim in here.
Wait, I want to add this real quick. I would have supported Cuba before Iran because Cuba is very close to us. I would have supported that before Iran, but.
So this is what this soldier said that went viral. Slim, I'll let you respond to this.
Hey, I don't know who need to hear this. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people be talking shit about America. Hey, if you don't like America, go to another country, bitch. I love this country. I'll protect this bitch.
Slim?
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. I mean, in a nutshell. My thing is this, right? This energy is crazy because if we worried about the finances, we should be worried about the finances that Doge uncovered. We should be worried about what that money was going away for, how much money they recovered. We should be worried about the finances in Minnesota. It's only a problem because it's the administration that's involved. It wasn't a problem when Ukraine popped off. It was a war with Ukraine. Nobody was saying nothing. It wasn't a problem with any other wars when our children go to fight. That's what it is. At the end of the day, we still keep forgetting they tried to kill this man. We don't know what the intel is. We don't know if Iran had anything to do with trying to kill him. We don't know if Iran had anything to do with Charlie Kirk. We really don't know. We're basically talking off of feelings. But again, we don't know what this man went through. They tried to kill him. So whatever he ran on, whatever he spoke of, I don't think he's the same person. I think you're dealing with a monster, and he's going to show you that he was the man for the job. All that other shit, I ain't trying to be scared of nothing because America is not scared. And if we living in fear, we losing anyway. We can't live in fear, period.
How many American men and women are worth Donald Trump's life? How much money? We're spending $3 billion a day. We're literally spending like $3 billion a day. So how much money is this one man worth?
It's America.
So he's one man, mind you. He's one puppet.
It's
He's
America.
one puppet. He isn't.
It's America.
He's
They're
one
not fighting
puppet.
for Donald Trump.
So
They're
how
fighting for
many
America.
soldiers are worth his life? How much do we, as the American taxpayer, have to give up because this man dodged some 50-cent bullets? I mean, that's my thing. Is I understand the vendetta because obviously I would not want somebody to hurt me or anything like that. 100%. I understand the vendetta. I'm petty. I get it. I'm all about the smoke. But at the end of the day, you can't let your personal vendetta get us into a potential war that we're not going to easily be able to get ourselves out of. Like, how many men and women in uniform have to die for this man? Is it 250, 200,000? Is it 2 million? Is it 6?
If you're looking at it as a personal vendetta, nobody should be dying. But let's just be honest. If it really was a personal vendetta, I don't think you could blame them. They tried to kill him. They tried to put him in jail for the rest of his life. At the end of the day, I feel what you're saying, but nobody has ever been in that position. You don't really know how you go react.
But that's I feel like that's not fair. That's like saying he's driving the bus and everyone in the bus is going to get hurt because of his ego being hurt. Like, this is what does not make a good leader. And I also want to say that Doge claims that they saved $52 billion. They spent $93 billion in the month of September last year because they had to either spend it or lose it in the Defense Department. So
What
like,
about Somalia?
don't tell the American people you're trying to save the money when in reality you're not trying to save the money. The guy that was in charge of DEI policy, that was canceling DEI policy, that and then got rid of close to 300,000 jobs that negatively affected the Black community and rose unemployment. When they asked him to define what DEI was, he couldn't define it in a deposition. This man was in charge of canceling DEI policies. And when in a deposition, they asked him, can you define for us what DEI is? He couldn't define it. Even with the amount that they are saying they saved us, this administration has already spent that and more. They're not saving the taxpayer any money. Don't forget, we invaded Venezuela also. Like, it's wild.
So Slim, I'm gonna get you to respond again, because it's one of your favorite people.